Finance Minister Enoch Godongwana says among the discussions held was developing a reporting mechanism for the banks, which will most likely be concluded by the end of September. Godongwana says the discussions also expanded on debt vulnerabilities in emerging economies as well as the African continent.
In this regard, the common framework is an instrument. We will be publishing case studies of countries that have gone through that process. On the focus, another focus agenda was on the African continent. As you would be aware, that given the fact that the presidency now is on the African continent, we've given a spin and a focus on Africa. And then a key of those challenges that need to be done on the African continent, and deepening some of the institutional arrangements we've had, like the Compact with Africa, replenishing the African Development Fund, and generally, how do we deal with the cost of capital and access to capital for the African continent?
The impact of the ongoing global tensions as a result of the tariff uncertainty also featured strongly at this meeting, where co-chair and Reserve Bank Governor Lesetja Kganyago says this discussion weighed on the need to provide policy clarity.
There was also a need to take immediate and coordinated efforts as needed to de-escalate and reduce the current volatility and uncertainty, and to provide policy clarity. Basically, uncertainty was seen as a tax without revenue, and that we cannot let the uncertainty become the new certainty. Actions with convictions and agency then became necessary. There was also a very strong view that the global financial system and financial markets have witnessed heightened volatility but remained resilient, that the core of the global financial system remains resilient with adequate levels of capital and liquidity. Importantly, the regulatory reform agenda that we embarked on in the aftermath of the great financial crisis is bearing fruit and seems to have shielded the global financial system well, and that we must bid these reforms to continue to provide certainty with respect to that regulatory reform agenda.
Kganyago further said there was a call for the multilateral system to be restored, with the World Trade Organization at the center of the trade negotiations. As for more information on how the members view the trade spat between the US and China, this is what Kganyago had to say.
The point here was that the tit for tat that takes place means that we might actually not be talking to each other, that we need to actually open the dialogue so that we talk to each other, that we are coming to the point where the tensions have become so elevated that even when a hand is being extended so that one country is reaching out, we might not see that hand because things had become so tense. It's important that those conversations take place. There are time limits that had been set. Some tariffs are supposedly off the table for a period of 90 days. It's ticking every day. The days are becoming fewer. And in an environment where every country is negotiating bilaterally, these things could actually take a lot of time, and meaning that the uncertainty might be with us for long.
G20 members include the world's major economies, representing 85% of global GDP, 75% of international trade, and 2/3 of the world's population. Lesetja Kganyago, SABC News, Johannesburg.